I used to work every day, including my wedding day. I even took my laptop to the hospital when I gave birth both times. I have allowed work to consume my life. I used to work long hours and think that more effort meant more money. But let me tell you, that's a lie, and you probably know it to be true as well. I'm now making more money while working less than ever before. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through my full weekly schedule, exactly how I structure my time to grow my business while protecting my personal life. But before we talk about my schedule, you need to understand the CEO shift, because none of this is going to work for you if you don't. Now, by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Stacey Tuschel, and I've been a business owner for over 22 years, and my businesses generate over $10 million in annual revenue. So step one is understanding the CEO schedule shift. Most business owners are stuck in an employee mindset, and they don't even realize it. They spend their days reacting to problems, answering emails, putting out fires, and working inside the business instead of working on business principles. Now, I used to be in the same cycle. Long hours, little time off, feeling like my business needed me. But the truth is, I was trapping myself in my business by structuring my schedule the wrong way. The biggest breakthrough was I stopped working like an employee and I started working like a CEO. Now, those key differences between an employee schedule and a CEO schedule, let's talk about. So this employee mindset, right? How most business owners work. They are reactive. They are chaotic. They're jumping from task to task, putting out fires constantly. They're overloaded with operational tasks. They're handling emails, customer service, admin work. There's no time for strategy. There's just too much doing to actually look at long term. They are burnout prone, so working long hours but just feeling stuck. Revenue starts to plateau. There's just no time to focus on activities that are actually growing the business. And this is why so many business owners are stressed, overworked, underpaid, and most of them have to eventually quit or give up. They're just too involved in the daily operations instead of driving the business forward. However, when you step into the CEO mindset, right, how I actually work today is I'm proactive, I'm intentional. Time is pre-planned in advance. It's not dictated by what's popping up or daily problems. I only get to work on high value work tasks. So focusing on strategy, innovating, marketing, revenue generating activities. If it doesn't make money, it's not on my plate. Every day I ask myself, what can I delegate? What can I get rid of? Delegation and systems are your friends. Let your team members handle the daily operations. That's how you're going to get more free time with the business running smoothly without needing your constant involvement. Exponential growth is happening because you're focused on scaling and not just surviving. The biggest shift is if your schedule still looks like your team's schedule, then you're not operating like a CEO. So here's a look at my full weekly schedule breakdown. And then after this, I'm gonna share with you a step-by-step process for how you can actually make a schedule that works for you. So Monday is strategy and big picture planning. From about 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I am working on CEO level tasks. I'm checking finances, revenue planning, metrics, KPI dashboards, planning for the week, looking at the last 30 days or the future 30 days, you name it. Because around 9 a.m., I am jumping on my all hands with my entire company. So from 9 till about 10:30, it's team check-ins and delegations. So I actually jump on with my entire team. And then once we break, and that meeting honestly might be 20, 25, 30 minutes. It's just when it's done, it's done. So we end whenever. And then we immediately jump into our leadership meeting. So we meet everybody and then we break and just do leaders. I typically end no later than 10:30. So that is an hour and a half of team check-ins and delegation. And you might think that's a lot of time every Monday. It is the most important. There are some times when I purposely schedule my vacation where it doesn't start until Monday night or Tuesday morning because I want to make sure that I am there for that Monday meeting. I set everybody in the right direction and I get to go on vacation and not think about anything because the team has it handled. Then at 10:30, I have a little break. It might be time to go for a walk, eat something, etc. And around like 12 p.m. to about 3 p.m., I switch gears and I get into customer facing activities. Now, I wouldn't typically recommend Monday Mondays to be customer facing. But for my personal schedule, it's actually the easiest day to never miss. So if I put everything big and important on a Monday and I just don't miss Mondays, then I don't have to reschedule. So that's why a lot of times I just start vacation on Monday night, right? Instead of taking off on a Friday, I take off on a Monday night and I come back maybe on Sunday. Now, yes, if I go on an extended 2-week vacation, I think we went to Paris for 10 days. I didn't jump on that Monday meeting. My team had it set up and run. But I'm talking on a pretty typical basis. I travel 2 times a month, sometimes minimum. So I want to make sure that I can set my schedule up for success for my team. Why does this matter? Well, most business owners never step back and they actually think about where their business is and where it's going. And Mondays are all about that big picture strategy, not client work or daily tasks. So you definitely don't want to start your Monday morning by jumping into customer facing or checking emails. It's time for you to be strategic and set the business up for success. Tuesdays for me are marketing, visibility, and one-on-ones. So Tuesday mornings is usually my morning content creation time. That's when I'm actually writing, scripting, YouTube, podcasts, maybe certain emails, promotions, reels, etc. Now you might be thinking, Stacey, I'm shocked that you still write some of this or do some of this. Now, of course, I have a team, but my team is still prepping, getting me something that might be 80%, right? One of my strategies, I like to set them up. Maybe I do the first 10 or 20 to say, here's what I'm looking for. I let them do the middle 80%, right? And I come back for that last 10% and finalize it. So I have to block time in my calendar to do that. So that's usually what Tuesday morning looks like. Then at noon, I switch from about 12 to 2 and I do my one-on-ones with my direct reports. And I think once a month, there's a department meeting in there where I jump on marketing or sales as well. So right now I'm in this weird transition stage of my one-on-ones, and I'll share a little bit more about who reports to me directly. So 2024 was a year of expanding our leadership team, and I strategically wanted these new leaders to report to me. Now, that might be a little unusual. Most leaders report to the operations, COO, director of ops, whatever you call them. And then that person reports to the CEO. But what I wanted to do was set up I wanted the new leaders to know me and set them up for success as well. So 2024 was a lot of one-on-ones. There were 4 of them total. Everybody was reporting to me. Now, one by one, I'm letting that person, transitioning that person into reporting to our director of ops. So I only have a little bit of time on Tuesdays right now with my direct reports. As a CEO, marketing is such a high revenue generating task that it's something I have never removed off of my plate. So yes, I still have a marketing team. However, I'm always thinking of new creatives, new promotions. Marketing drives consistent sales. If you're not intentionally scheduling time for content, visibility, you're leaving money on the table. And as far as those one-on-ones, if you want a high-performing team, you need to train them and hold them accountable. If you want to keep growing, yes, of course, you need to keep learning, but you need to train your leadership team so they have the opportunity to grow and learn as well. Wednesdays are my recording and a few client coaching opportunities that I do. So from about 9 until 12, I jump right in to recording content, videos, training, reels, Facebook ads, just a bunch of different things where I need to be on camera. Then in the afternoon, about 1 to 3, I may coach in certain programs, jump on a YouTube Live, etc. I schedule all of my on-camera appointments on Wednesday. Even batching the days where I need full hair and makeup versus days off where I don't really need to be camera ready is helping me streamline and save time. So I'm not getting fully ready for a day with one 30-minute appointment. So usually Tuesdays are a lot of off-camera days for me. Now, I'm still put together. I'm going to be jumping on team calls with my leaders. I don't want to look like I just rolled out of bed, but I don't need to be in full hair, makeup, etc. Thursdays is where I focus on product development. So my mornings, like 9-ish till noon, I reserve for what we call product development and mastery. So I might be reviewing reviews, client surveys, finding out what people are looking for, brainstorming ways we can serve them better, maybe checking out the competition and their reviews, right? Here at Well-Oiled, we have a curriculum designer who works with me on making our program easier, better. The idea is, how can our clients get faster results? So she is helping me review templates, systems for our clients to copy and just save so much more time because they don't have to do it themselves. That may be a day we jump on a meeting to figure out what changes we want to make in the next 90 days to make our product even better. So I focus on core curriculum, updating monthly masterclasses and events. We host in-person events almost every month now, and I'm constantly creating what do I believe my clientele needs next or in this market? So this massively impacts our renewals, our referrals, our upsells. And I'll tell you this, most businesses don't need more leads. They need to have a better product and focus on customer retention. But instead, the typical business thinks, I need more marketing, more sales, more funnels, more products, more, right? And unfortunately, if you don't focus on the product, all these people you get in are going to buy from you once and never again. I want to make sure I am thinking about how can I keep my customers here and happy. You know what's a really cool stat is the number of renewals we had in 2024. So the whole year we had a certain number of renewals. We hit that by the end of Q1. So literally on track to 4 times our renewals. So you know what that means? I don't have to work as hard in marketing and sales because revenue is coming in from the back end. Now, of course, I'm gonna work just as hard in marketing and sales, which means we're gonna have an explosive growth year because we've unlocked our product mastery and are renewing at the highest rate we've ever seen. Friday is a big finances and mentorship day for me and a little bit of catch up. So from 9 a.m. to noon, I'm doing what I call deep work, creative projects, future planning. Then in the afternoon, I have my mentor meeting. So just like many of you have a coach, of course, so do I. And I'm checking in with my goals, my progress, where I'm getting stuck. I also really look at what has been going on this week so I can start to prep for Monday. So I'm gonna deep dive into our finances, our bank accounts. I actually move money around using our profit-focused method every single Friday. It also helps me identify, why is it much lower than last week? Why is it much higher than last week? And I can use that to really go, okay, what is going on in the business? And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not good. And I take that information to be proactive on Monday. And then the afternoon is truly for catch up. Whatever I didn't get done, now is getting done. I like to keep Fridays pretty open, and that's because burnout kills businesses. Fridays are flexible. It's buffer time. I use them to do whatever I need to do. And sometimes it's take a half day. Sometimes it's leave and get a massage or a facial and just let myself kind of calm down from the crazy work week. So let's talk about how to shift your schedule from that employee to CEO. Now, I don't want you to copy exactly what I just shared because what works for me might not necessarily work for you. So I had a client a few years ago who heard that I was working Monday through Friday, 9 to 3. And she kind of just heard that, and people say like success leaves clues, and I was further along than her, so she thought, I'm gonna do exactly what Stacey's doing. But she missed the strategy. I was working 9 to 3 because my kids were in school 9 to 3. I was dropping them off at school. I could get home just in time to start work at 9. I needed to leave by 3 to pick them up. So that was my schedule, and it worked really well. But she started to do it and she started to hate it. And she one time finally came to me and said, this isn't working. Like, I don't understand like why this isn't working. So I said, well, why did you pick 9 to 3 besides the fact that I work 9 to 3? And she's like, no, that was the strategy. I'm copying your schedule. And I said, well, you're copying a strategy because I have children in school. Do you have children in school? No, I have little kids who are at home. Okay. So the strategy she missed, right? She was looking at this outcome, but she didn't realize the behind the scenes portion. So I said, okay, your kids are at home. Is there somebody watching them there? Like what's the deal? And we realized what she needed to do was actually wake up early, get a good chunk of the morning in before the kids even woke up. Then at 9, she needed to be with them, be present. That's when they wanted her, needed her, etc. And then she took a little break in the afternoon. They went down for a nap, and then she went back into work, and her life drastically changed. So be careful when you copy somebody's outside, when you see what they're doing, but you don't realize why they're doing it. So I'm here to give you what I'm doing, but I am not here to tell you to copy mine, because what works for me today in my season of life, with my kids being in a certain age, my business being in a certain season, might not be where you're at. So make this make sense for you. Now here's the step-by-step for how to actually create a schedule that works for you. So step 1 is audit your time for 1 week. And before you can fix your schedule, you need to know, where is your time actually going? Track every activity you do for 1 week in a notebook or a time tracking app. Then categorize those tasks into 3 different groups. What is CEO level work? Strategy, marketing, sales, vision, planning, innovating. 2, manager level work. Team check-ins, problem solving, project reviews. Or the level 3, employee level work. You're checking emails, admin, customer service, content creation. What you'll likely find is 70% of your time is spent on employee level tasks, and only 10 to 20% is actual CEO work, maybe less. You're busier than ever, but you're not making the progress you should. So step 2 is you need to identify what you need to stop doing immediately. Once you see how much low-value work is eating up your time, you need to cut ruthlessly. So ask yourself, what tasks do I do daily that I could start to train on? What's not moving the needle in my business? And what is the biggest time suck in my schedule? Your goal is to eliminate, automate, or delegate at least 50% of your current workload. Step 3 is restructure your week with high-impact CEO time. Now that you've freed up your time, rebuild your schedule with the CEO first approach. Block out dedicated time for the things I had mentioned. You don't need to do them exactly the days that I do them, but where is marketing and sales and driving revenue? Where's strategy and vision? Innovating, future planning, big picture moves, team development. When are you training, leading, delegating? Your own growth. When are you learning? Networking. When are you taking high value masterminds and participating, building your network? You don't need more time. You just need to use your time differently. It's time to fire yourself from certain roles. If you're always in the day-to-day tasks, your business will never scale the way you want. The more time you free up for CEO work, the faster your business will take off. A real CEO creates a business that runs without them. So if you want to work less and make more, you need to stop behaving as an employee in your own business and start leading like a CEO. The key principles that will make this work: time blocking and theming. Instead of constantly context switching, I am grouping similar tasks together, and this helps me stay focused and work more efficiently. So right now, I am recording back-to-back YouTube videos. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'll stop recording. I will run, change my outfit, sit back down like you think it's the next day. And it's not, because I time block. Delegation and systems. I'm not doing everything myself. I have a team and automation handling 80% of my business. Shift gears to profit-focused work. I only spend time on high impact tasks that grow the revenue, and everything else is delegated or eliminated. If it doesn't move the needle, it is not on my schedule. This is exactly how I'm making more while working less. By the way, if you want help restructuring your schedule and building systems that remove you from the daily operations, check out our free masterclass on well-oiled operations, the 3-part framework. So go to welloiledoperations.com/class to learn more. It's completely free. Definitely check it out.